When you're LS swapping your old car, the best solution to test fit motor mounts, headers, and accessories is our SoloSwap Mock Up Block. We're getting ready to drop this 5.3 into this K10 four-wheel drive pickup. Now, we've done lots of LS swaps on two-wheel drive C10s. We have never done one on a four-wheel drive. So we're gonna use our SoloSwap block to figure out what mount adapters, what headers, and what accessories are gonna work in this chassis. The first thing we need to figure out is the position of our mount adapters. So lots of LS mount plate adapters that go to the 3-bolt small block Chevy mount that we're all used to seeing have multiple sets of holes in them. And we want to figure out which set we need to have our clamshell mount in to put it in this truck. With a two-wheel drive, you have some latitude because usually you can kind of move transmission around, move transmission cross members and things like that. This is a four-wheel drive. Transmission and transfer case has to stay just exactly where it is. So that's going to be the first thing that we figure out, is just the position of the engine. So with our SoloSwap block bolted up to the bell housing here, we can see a couple things. First, we can see the alignment on the holes where these adapter brackets interface with the stock clamshell mounts in this truck. So we can pre-assemble all of this to this front set of holes on the stand before we drop the engine in. The other thing that we can see, and this is huge, and this is exactly why we use these SoloSwap blocks, is we've identified that this front corner here, even without the pan bolted to this block, there's going to be interference to this cross member here. And so instead of dropping the actual engine in and then realizing that the oil pan is hitting the cross member, we've identified that with the SoloSwap block. And so now when we pull this out before we drop the real engine in, we can notch this cross member for clearance. The next thing we're going to do while we still have our SoloSwap block bolted in here is test fit some manifolds and headers. We're not sure which way we're going to go with this truck, so we just want to make sure that what we have here is going to work either way. And the last thing we're going to do here before we pull this SoloSwap block is just kind of check our accessories and make sure that this is all going to fit. And it looks like we're going to have a ton of room. We're using these bills brackets for our AC, and this here is our power steering and alternator side. So we'll check this side first, and it looks like there's plenty of room. Got the pulley on here to make sure we've got room to the frame rail. And last thing here, we're just checking this AC compressor and bracket, and there's a ton of room here. And so now that our SoloSwap block has earned its keep, we're ready to pull it and drop in our actual engine, and we know everything's going to fit.